Distinguished guests, dear friends, this is the first time I have had the opportunity to address this banquet as the Executive Director of the Armenian National Committee of Australia. However, as most of you know, I'm not a newcomer to this event. And this event, there's just something about the bodies that are always assembled in this room every single year, and an energy it generates, something that makes speaking here feel like such a pleasure. Hoke harazad, as we say in Armenian, such an honor. I tried to pin the tail on the donkey to answer why I think I feel so warm and fuzzy amongst you. Two simple words is what came to mind. Haitad. You see, the Armenian cause, our fight for justice on behalf of our forefathers, for peace in the Republic of Artsakh, to ensure Armenians never suffer the same fate as our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. This cause is the adhesive, the superglue that unites us. This room is where a collection of Armenians transform into the Armenian we. This event is where individual supporters of Armenians grab us by our hands and join the Armenian we. This we is represented by so many of you, all of you in fact, in the room tonight. It's represented by an ANC-AU partner named Garbi Simonian, who befriended a little-known Cessnock City councillor over 2 decades ago while doing business in the Hunter region of New South Wales. Many of you know that the Hunter region of New South Wales has an Armenian population closer to 0 than 10. This councillor became friends with Garbus, learnt his history, who he is, why he is here in Australia. This councillor became a Member of Parliament, then the Defence Minister of Australia, and today, as one of the most senior figures of his party, Joel Fitzgibbon will be honoured for his part in advancing a motion on the Armenian genocide to debate in the House of Representatives. Thank you, Garbus. Thank you, Joel. Thank you to your colleague Trent Zimmerman, and thank you to Jason Felinski, who spoke just this week on the rights to self-determination of the Republic of Artsakh. All of these people represent the Armenian we which fills this room every year, as does the self-educated local researcher who combed through some of the most laborious material in his eastern suburbs home before co-authoring a book with Professor Peter Stanley. This book detailed how Australian soldiers witnessed the Armenian genocide, how Australians saved Armenians. This research changed the narrative of the Armenian cause in Australia. Thank you, Vikem Babkenyan. Thank you to Peter Stanley also, Panagiotis Diamandis, and although he's not in the room tonight, can we please applaud the pioneering efforts in this country of Professor Colin Tatz. Also part of this we is the ANC-AU Young Advocate, the Armenian Youth Federation member who now calls Australia home after settling here as a refugee following the war in Syria. His family lost everything during that war. And in Canberra just this week, Garo Najarian asked me if his accent would prevent him from serving the Armenian cause in the hallways of Australia's Parliament. No, Garo. Of course, you are free to be part of the we. In fact, you are more than able to lead the we. Thank you for moving me. The we is embodied in one of the pioneering forces of Haitad in Australia, who sacrificed career for community, personal for family. A family who would go on to honour his memory by committing a generous $10,000 per year to establish the Hagop Kortian Scholarship. This will enable young Armenian Australians to become the we needed to fill the offices of political leaders, think tanks and media centres in Canberra and other capital cities. Thank you, dear Courtians. Asfaz hokit lusavorenger hagop. The Armenian Youth Federation is the we, along with the Hominid Men Scouts, the Galston College students, the Armenian Students Association, the Armenian Church Youth Association, and others who march for justice every single year to ensure the death marches of 1915 would not end in tears and will continue until they lead to justice. Thank you, our young warriors. The we includes our bishop, who this year led a delegation of Eastern churches to Armenia. He accompanied them on a visit to Dzizernagaper, the Armenian Genocide Memorial, to ensure that our prayers for justice are indeed collective. They are Armenian Apostolic, Catholic, and Evangelical prayers. They are the prayers of the Egyptian Copts, the Lebanese Maronites, the Assyrian Orthodox, the Chaldeans, and the list goes on. The presence tonight of leaders from the Aboriginal, the Jewish, the Arab, the Indian, the Assyrian, the Chinese, the Greek communities shows that the Armenian we is not monocultural. Thank you to you all, our dear brothers and sisters. The we is embodied by the Armenian Relief Society, who this last week led a community-wide appeal raising over $8,000 for drought-stricken Australian farmers. This is a small token in return for Australian farmers who joined the Armenian we all the way in 1915 when they helped survivors of the Armenian genocide by sending wool, milk and other supplies to our ancestors in the Near East. Thank you to our beloved Hayot Nutyan Miyutun. The New South Wales Parliament is part of the we. Our daughter Gladys, our sons like Walt, Jonathan, Hugh, Fred, David, and many others who we this year thanked for 20 years of standing on the side of truth and justice when it comes to Armenian issues. Ride Council, with its Armenian councillor Sarkis Yedelian and Mayor Jerome Lexell, who this year recognised once again the Armenian genocide, but significantly also recognised the Republic of Artsakh. You are indeed part of the Armenian we. Distinguished guests, dear friends, you are all part of the Armenian we, along with the families and the membership you each represent. A we that is united in our fight for truth and justice on the Armenian genocide, the Republic of Artsakh, a sustainable Armenia, and a thriving Armenian Australian community. You see, the reason tonight is so special is because it all comes together at this event. Because our work, the work of the Armenian National Committee, is the culmination of the Armenian we. It was Isaac Newton who once said, and I quote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Ladies and gentlemen, standing on your shoulders, we feel like giants. I become we with my superstar team of immediate frontline advocates in Olivia Dilanchan, Michael Kolokosyan, and Alex Galitsky. From the very bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. The Armenian cause is lucky to have you. This we is boosted by our dedicated national board, Greg, Khajak, Vache, Talin, Sasun, Hovik, Garine, Herach, and Stephen. This we becomes even stronger with our branches, our partners, our advisors, our community, our advocates, our friends. The we is further elevated with our international sources of inspiration. We feel so much stronger going into Canberra knowing we are equipped with the intellect of a Richard Hovhannisyan, the roar of a Serge Tankian, the skill of a Henrik Mkhitaryan, the aura of a Charles Aznavour, the creativity of a Raymond Damadian, the talents of Aram Khachadurian, the entrepreneurism of Alexis Ohanian, and why not, even the sass of Kim Kardashian. This we rises further when we add the we of the Dukhov of 2018. It rises even further when we combine that with the we of the Perunskov of 1918. And when it is realized that the we includes the giants defending the front lines of the Republic of Artsakh, we feel unbeatable. Ladies and gentlemen, it is this Armenian we that arms the ANC when we enter Parliament House in Canberra or a parliament in another capital city to fight your good fight. This is why we don't give up. It is why we know we will win. See, this is why this event, this room, your company, your support, you're our people. Your families, your members, they're our people. That's why this banquet, every single year, reminds us of that we. Thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the Armenian cause. Thank you for letting our team stand on your shoulders, dear giants of the Armenian cause.